Hello everyone, my name is Christopher Liam Rose. I'm an author, mentor, life coach, motivational speaker, evangelist, musician, and activist. Now, in this audio, we're going to be sharing a very important message for the Spiritually Helping Other People podcast. I've been trying to share Spiritually Helping Other People podcast every single day to inspire people to go through a spiritual change, to learn more about Jesus Christ, Jehovah and Buddha, and to learn also more about the no self and selflessness. So these Spiritually Helping Other People podcasts are daily, and I create podcasts every single day, which is very important for me to do. Now, in this particular audio, we're going to be talking about no self and selflessness is living. Now, this is very important to realize and very important to understand. When we discover the no self and selflessness, this is truly living. Living a life where it's focused on spiritual contributions and helping other people, giving back and making a difference, helping the animals and helping the universe. Now, the no self and selflessness is living in everyday life, because when you discover that there's no more self within you by going through a spiritual change and a spiritual transformation, then you're able to live your life spiritually free, spiritually liberated, and spiritually awakened, and spiritually enlightened. So it's important to discover the no self and selflessness is living. Now, right now at the moment, a lot of people live with themselves and they believe that the self is where life is all about the living. The self is where the problems are in life. The self is where the suffering, pains, and adversities are in life. So it's very important to understand that we need to overcome the self and discover the no self and selflessness. Now, when we discover no self and selflessness is living, it means that we'll be helping other people, helping the animals, and helping the universe every single day. So a life will not be about what we achieve, what we accomplish, or our family or friends and our loved ones. A life will be about the spiritual contributions we leave behind on earth, because obviously every human being is going towards the destination of death. Also, it will be about how many people did we help, how many contributions did we make, what difference did we make, how many people did we look after and care for, how many times did we spiritually make contributions to others, and how we've been living our life to obviously help other people, help the animals, and help the universe. So the spiritual contributions becomes the most important thing. The no self and selflessness is living. So this is the most important thing in life to discover, and we need to discover the no self and selflessness. So how do you discover the no self and selflessness? We need to go through a spiritual change. What is a spiritual change? The 5 spiritual practices: prayer, meditation, mindfulness, walking, and journaling. If we go through the spiritual practices of the 5 spiritual practices, prayer, meditation, mindfulness, walking, and journaling, and then once we've gone through a spiritual change within the psyche and the psychological mind, we then discover the no self and selflessness is living. Now, within life, there really is no self, because I've always said in my audios and my videos, my books, we can never see the self of who we are. We live inside a body, inside a mind, inside a heart, a brain, and the human body. But when we look very, very deep into human psychology and just the reality of life, there really is spirit and soul, right? And the spirit and soul means no self. That means you're not your flesh, you're not your body, you're not your mind, and you're not your thoughts and your thinking. It means you're a spiritual eternal energy that's living in a human form. But the human form, the body, is just a vessel of how we live our life in everyday life. So we need to have a body to obviously live life in earth, because obviously all human beings have been created by Jehovah to live life on earth. But when we really understand that the no self and selflessness is living, So it's not your body, your flesh, your mind, your soul. It really is the spirit. Your spirit is who you really are. Your soul is a part of you. The body is part of who you are to live life as a human being. But really, that's not the true essence of reality. The true essence of reality is spiritual energy. All human beings are energy living in a human form. So when we understand that the no self and selflessness is living, that's the true essence of living. It means we need to discover it within our lives and discover it within ourselves. Now, so many people go through suffering, pain, and adversities in life. They make the wrong decisions. They choose the wrong partners to be with. They choose the wrong, work to do, and a lot of complications that happen in everyday life. But it's important to realize and important to learn that we need to make sure we spiritually change, because if we don't spiritually change, then we can't discover ourselves as a human being. So the know self and selflessness helps you to discover yourself as a human being, which is know thyself. When you know thyself, that means you're very, very spiritual and faithful and truthful. And it means you've understood yourself as a human being. And when we look at life, it really is the know self and selflessness which is living. Jesus Christ, Jehovah, and Buddha wants us to discover the no self and selflessness. They want us to spiritually change, find who we really are as human beings, and live our life where we're fulfilling our purpose in life, fulfilling our spiritual calling, and we're doing what Jehovah, Jesus Christ, and Buddha has called us to do. So the truth is, the no self and the selflessness is truly living. Life is about the spiritual contributions you make into helping other people, giving back and making a difference. It's not about your family, it's not about your children, it's not about your friends, it's not about your work, it's not about your job, it's not about your volunteering, it's not about your career, it's not about your house, it's not about your car, it's not about your money, it's not about your possessions, it's about the spiritual contributions you're leaving behind. So the spiritual legacy is now. The no self and selflessness is the true living in life. So we need to discover that. It's important to actually be faithful and spiritual. And the 5 spiritual practices will help you to discover faith and spirituality. When we discover faith and spirituality, it means that we're living a life that's full of spiritual, eternal, timeless, spiritual lessons, right, of life. And obviously by the lessons we learn through our daily life, we realize that we're not the human being, we're not the body, we're not the mind, we're not the brain, we're not the thoughts and the feelings. We are spiritual energy living in a human form. So as spiritual energy, we need to make sure we're helping other people, helping humanity, helping the animals, and helping the universe. Now when you discover the no self and selflessness is living, you'll do the 5 levels of helping other people. So what are the 5 levels of helping other people? Level 1, volunteering. Level 2, jobs, careers, employment. Level 3, business entrepreneurship. Level 4, faith and spiritual. Level 5, spiritually helping other people who helping other people. So it's important to actually go through the process of spiritual change to discover the no self and selflessness. And the life is really about the spiritual contributions you make, how many people you support, how many differences you make, what impact do you have, and let that inspire you to actually go through this spiritual change and go through the process. The no self and selflessness is living. If you really want to find who you are as a human being, if you really want to find spiritual freedom and spiritual liberation and discover your true essence of life, the spiritual nature, the spiritual energy, then we need to realize that we need to discover the no self and selflessness and realize that we really are spiritual energy living in a human form. So please, listeners, understand that the no self and selflessness is living. Our lives are meant to be about the spiritual contributions we make in the world and what difference and impact we have into other people's lives, the animals in the universe. So discover the no self, discover selflessness, do the 5 spiritual practices, do the 5 levels of helping other people, and live your spiritual calling and live your spiritual life purpose and your spiritual path. Okay, thank you for listening now. I hope this has helped. Bye now. Have a good evening. Bye. Thanks. Bye.